Somewhere, in a kitchen drawer, there is a recipe in your grandmother's handwriting. It fed a whole family through the hardest years this country has ever seen. These women, your grandmothers, they didn't waste a single thing. Not a heel of bread, not a tablespoon of bacon drippings. They knew how to stretch a dollar. So far, it felt like a miracle. Today, I want to share 5 of those miracles with you. 5 meals, 5 recipes built from almost nothing. Each one costs less than a single dollar, for yourself. A potato soup so creamy and warm, it tastes like someone still cares about you. A skillet cornbread, golden and crisp, made from what's in your pantry right now. A navy bean soup so deeply satisfying, a small bowl keeps you full for hours. Buttered egg noodles, the simplest thing in the world, and somehow unforgettable. And a bread pudding made from stale bread, sweet, soft, and warm like a hug. Stay with me all the way to the very end of this video today. At the end, I'm sharing a secret Depression-era sweet treat most people have forgotten. It costs almost nothing, and it is absolutely delicious. So pour yourself something warm, find a comfortable chair, and let's cook together. Let's get started. Recipe number 1, potato soup. This was the most common meal on Depression-era tables across America, because potatoes were cheap, filling, and grew in nearly every backyard. You'll need just 2 medium potatoes for this recipe, about 1/3 of a cup of diced onion, 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of whole milk, 1 tablespoon of butter, a little salt and pepper. That's it! That is the entire list. Your grandmother knew every one of these by heart. Let's begin. Peel your 2 potatoes. Take your time, there is no rush here. Cut them into small cubes, about 1/2 inch. They don't need to be perfect. Dice your onion, about 1/3 of a cup. The onion is the soul of this soup. Add the potatoes and onion to a small pot. Pour in 1 cup of water. Just enough to barely cover them. We want a thick, creamy soup, not a thin broth. Add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, then place the pot on your burner over medium-low heat. We're going to let these simmer gently until they're completely soft. About 15 minutes. Not a hard boil, just a gentle, lazy simmer. The kind that does all the work quietly. While the potatoes cook, I want to tell you something about these women. They had no extra money. Some had no money at all. But they had knowledge, passed hand to hand, kitchen to kitchen for generations. And that knowledge saved lives. Check your potatoes after about 12 minutes. Press a fork through a cube. If it yields with no resistance at all, they're done. Perfect. Now we mash them, her way. No machine, no blender. Use a potato masher, or just the back of a large fork. Don't mash them completely smooth. Leave some small chunks in there. That thick, old-fashioned texture is what a blender can never quite recreate. Now slowly add your 1/2 cup of whole milk while you stir gently. Keep the heat on low. You don't want the milk to scorch on the bottom. Now add 1 tablespoon of butter. Watch what it does. It makes everything richer, silkier, more whole. This is why butter was so precious during the Depression. 1 tablespoon transformed a pot. Taste it now. Add a little more salt if you need it. A crack of black pepper if you like. This soup should taste full, warm, like something made with genuine care. Pour it into 1 bowl. Just for you. A pinch of chives on top if you have them. Recipe number 1, creamy potato soup. Total cost, approximately 35 cents. It saves beautifully. Tomorrow, add a splash more milk. Warm it gently. Even better. Never throw away what you can use tomorrow. During the Depression, that was survival. Potato soup and skillet cornbread belong together. Your grandmother knew that pairing by heart. That's a complete, satisfying meal for 1 person, for under 60 cents. Recipe number 2, skillet cornbread. If the potato soup is the heart of this video, the cornbread is its soul. Corn was one of the cheapest, most abundant foods in Depression-era America. Before we continue, did your grandmother have a recipe like this? A soup or cornbread you can still taste when you close your eyes? Leave a comment below. Those recipes and those stories deserve to be remembered. For this single-serving cornbread, 1/2 cup of yellow cornmeal, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of buttermilk, 1 tablespoon of bacon drippings or butter. Bacon drippings. Now there's a word your grandmother knew well. In the Depression, nothing got thrown away. Every morning after cooking bacon, the drippings were saved in a tin near the stove. That fat was liquid gold. If you don't have buttermilk, make your own right now. Add 1/2 teaspoon of white vinegar to regular milk. Stir. Wait 1 minute. Your grandmother knew this trick. She never bought buttermilk. She made it. First, preheat your cast iron skillet. This is the most important step. Place it in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. or heat it on the stovetop over medium. While the skillet heats, mix your dry ingredients in a bowl. Cornmeal, flour, baking powder, and salt. Just whisk them gently with a fork. Make a small well in the center, crack in your egg, then pour in the buttermilk. Stir everything just until combined. Don't overmix. A few lumps are perfectly fine. Overmixing makes cornbread tough. And we don't want tough, we want tender. Now, your skillet should be very hot. Add your bacon drippings directly into it. You should hear a very loud, satisfying sizzle. That's the sound of a perfect crust beginning. Pour the batter directly into the hot skillet, quickly and confidently. Don't hesitate. That first contact with the heat creates the golden, crispy crust on the bottom. Cover and reduce heat to medium-low. Cook 10 to 12 minutes until the top looks set. Then slide it under the broiler for 2 minutes to brown the top. Look at that bottom crust. Deep, golden brown, crispy. Cast iron does this. Nothing else can. This is why your grandmother cooked in cast iron her entire life. It makes food better. The inside is soft and tender and slightly crumbly. Not cakey, truly corny. A small pat of butter on warm cornbread is one of life's genuine pleasures. Recipe number 3, navy bean soup. If there is one recipe that kept more families alive during the Depression than any other, it is this one. Dried beans, almost free, available everywhere, and one of the most nutritious foods on earth. A 1-pound bag of navy beans costs around $1 at most grocery stores. That bag contains 10 to 12 servings. 10 servings. Think about that for a moment. If this kind of cooking speaks to you, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. We're building a small, warm community here. People who love the wisdom of the past. There's no pressure at all, but if you'd like to be here, we'd love to have you. You'll need half a cup of dried navy beans, soaked overnight in cold water. 2 cups of water, 1 strip of bacon, a 1/4 cup of diced onion, a bay leaf. If you forgot to soak overnight, no worry. A quick soak works just as well. Cover beans with cold water, boil 2 minutes, turn off heat, wait 1 hour. Drain and rinse your soaked beans. Add them to a small pot. Cover with 2 fresh cups of cold water. Add your onion, bacon, and bay leaf. Bring everything to a gentle boil. Then reduce heat to low and cover the pot. Let it simmer for about 90 minutes, low and slow, an hour and a half. This is the beauty of bean soup. Once you've set it up, it takes care of itself. You can rest, you can sit by a window, you can read. The beans do the work. The beans slowly soften, releasing their starch, turning the water thick and golden. These recipes were designed to be left alone, to simmer, to wait. The cook needed to do other things, to work, to rest, to care for family. The food understood that. After about an hour and 15 minutes, check your beans. Scoop one up and press it between your fingers. If it mashes easily, they're done. Now remove the bacon strip, crumble it back in or eat it alongside, your choice. Remove the bay leaf. We don't eat bay leaves. Here is the step that transforms thin bean broth into something magnificent. Use the back of your ladle to gently press about 1/3 of the beans against the pot wall. Mash them right there in the pot. This releases starch and thickens everything beautifully. Taste it for salt, add more if needed, and that is it, navy bean soup. One of the most complete, nourishing, inexpensive meals a human being can make. Served with your skillet cornbread, a complete, satisfying meal for under 40 cents. You can prepare a whole batch of beans at the start of the week. Store them in the refrigerator covered and heat up just what you need each day. Recipe number 4, buttered egg noodles. Some people called this poverty pasta. Some called it poor man's dinner. But the people who grew up eating it called it their favorite. Egg noodles were one of the cheapest pasta products in Depression-era America. In many households, they were homemade, just flour and egg, rolled thin and cut. Today you can buy a large bag for under $1. This recipe uses 1 single serving. You'll need egg noodles, butter, salt, and pepper. That is truly all you need. Bring a small pot of water to a rolling boil. Add a generous pinch of salt. Add your egg noodles. Cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. Test at 8 minutes. You want tender, but not mushy, just a tiny bit of resistance. Before you drain, scoop out 2 tablespoons of the cooking water. Set it aside in a cup. That starchy pasta water is the secret ingredient. Most people pour it down the drain. Don't. Drain the noodles in a colander. Return them immediately to the warm pot off the heat. Add your butter right away, 1 to 2 tablespoons depending on your taste. Toss gently to coat. If the noodles look dry, add a teaspoon of that saved pasta water. It loosens everything beautifully and makes the butter coat every single strand. Season with salt and a good crack of black pepper. Taste it. Adjust as needed. A soft-boiled egg on top turns this into a complete protein-rich meal. A handful of mushrooms sautéed for 2 minutes in the same butter. Extraordinary. That yolk becomes another sauce. Butter and starch and egg yolk from almost nothing. Total cost for one serving, about 25 to 30 cents. This recipe is always possible. On the days when you don't feel well, when cooking feels like too much, a pot of buttered noodles is not giving up. It is feeding yourself with kindness. Recipe number 5, bread pudding. This recipe was born entirely from the Depression-era principle of wasting absolutely nothing. Bread pudding uses bread that has gone stale, hard, dry bread that would be thrown away. Depression-era families turned that stale bread into a dessert that was genuinely wonderful. You'll need 2 slices of stale bread, 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of vanilla, a pinch of cinnamon, and a tiny pat of butter to coat your small baking dish. Butter a ramekin, just enough to coat the bottom and sides. Tear your stale bread into rough chunks, about 1 inch or so. Place them loosely in the dish. In a small bowl, whisk your egg and milk together. Add the sugar, vanilla, and cinnamon. This simple mixture, egg and milk and vanilla, is called a custard. Vanilla was a luxury during the Depression. Many families simply went without. But if you have it, half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. The warmth is unforgettable. Pour the custard slowly and evenly over your torn bread. Make sure every piece is moistened. Let it sit for 10 minutes before baking. Let the bread fully absorb the custard. Place your ramekin in a 350-degree oven. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes. While it bakes, your whole kitchen fills with a smell that is almost impossible to describe. Warm, sweet, vanilla, cinnamon, toasted bread and eggs and butter. It smells like a Sunday morning. It smells like safety. Golden, puffed, crispy on top, soft and custardy inside. Made from 2 slices of bread most people would have thrown away. Total cost, 20 cents. And now, the bonus I promised at the very beginning of today's video. Fried cornmeal mush. This has been almost completely forgotten. If you've made cornmeal mush and have leftovers, pour them into a small container. Let them cool completely in the refrigerator. Overnight is best. They will set firm. The next morning, turn the cold set mush out onto a cutting board. It holds its shape, almost like polenta. Slice it into 1/2-inch rounds. Lay the slices into a hot buttered skillet over medium heat and let them fry, about 3 to 4 minutes per side, waiting for a deep golden crust to form. When you flip it, there it is, a deep golden brown caramelized crust from cornmeal. Serve warm with honey or powdered sugar or a spoonful of fruit jam. The total cost of this bonus, about 5 cents per serving from yesterday's leftovers. This is the Depression-era cook at her most brilliant, turning yesterday's breakfast into today's sweet treat. Thank you for spending this time cooking with me today. If you try any of these recipes, take care of yourself, eat well, and use every single bit of what you have.